What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Jesus Christ, do they got Sean Spicer working overtime this weekend? Well, I kinda know the feeling. Sideshow Collectibles is making me work overtime, but I'm not complaining, and unlike Sean Spicer, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Are you kidding me? I can't believe the first press briefing in the White House was about crowd control? Or crowd size? Ridiculous, man. In any event, today we got a special treat. We're going to be looking at the 1/6 scale Sideshow Collectibles exclusive Wolverine figure. Let's take a closer look. So, as you guys probably already know, I'm a huge fan of Wolverine, especially the ones from the comics. I mean, I just loved that one. It was the one that I grew up with. And now I'm relating it back to the premium format statue, and this is kind of like a 1/6 scale of that, and it is totally awesome. This figure is well worth the wait, and I did wait some time for it. Those of you who spent any time in an arcade in the 90s knew that there was this really infamous arcade game that really featured all of the X-Men, and of course everybody played with Wolverine. Now, one of the cool things about it is that it really displayed him in the old comic book style, and this is exactly what this suit looks like. Here's also a really cool thing about this figure. You know that Wolverine in the comics is actually pretty short, and this is the first time that I've ever seen the 1/6 scale figure, or any figure for that matter, really get his size somewhat correctly. Now, even though he's a little smaller than most figures, he's actually a lot smaller than the Batman figures I own, but it doesn't matter, he still has incredible presence, and mostly because, well, just look at him, he looks like a friggin' badass. Guys, without question, this is easily one of my most favorite head sculpts on any Wolverine figure. It is awesome. Take a look at the details, the wrinkles in his brow, the wrinkles on the side of his mouth, those incredible teeth look amazing. This is definitely what I remember from the comics and the graphic novels. He looks much more animalistic, and it is fantastic. Also, for me, one of the most important details is definitely those whited out eyes. I love them. I also have to give high praise for the ball joint system that they have here on the head, because the articulation of this head sculpt is incredible as well. You could get some really epic poses out of it. This is just really well done. Very similar to the premium format statue. I love the color palette here. It's a little muted, so it looks a little more realistic and not so comic book cartoonish. Those colors work for the graphic novels, but not so much in real life. Overall, the costume is great, and I like that it's a little bit big, and it just makes it seem a little more realistic. The detail goes all the way to his midsection. I especially like the belt all the way at the bottom. It looks like actual leather, which is always a good thing. It's fully functional. I especially like the silver accent on the belt buckle itself. Now, they did something pretty unique with this figure, and it's actually a little more statuesque than most 6 scale figures. One of the interesting things is that they actually kind of give you an option, which we'll talk about later, in how to display. The arms look fantastic. There's definitely a lot of detail in the bicep. The claws are amazing, which feel like real metal, especially those gauntlets in terms of the dried out leather look. It just looks fantastic. Now, I do have to say there is a little gap between where the deltoid meets the actual bicep, but we'll talk about it. With this exclusive figure, similar to the premium format exclusive from Sideshow Collectibles, you also get that beautiful red katana. And I gotta tell you guys, this thing is so impressive and definitely worth the figure and the price point, because you get this accessory. It is beautifully sculpted, incredibly detailed. There's this really nice kind of high gloss finish on the hilt, and it just looks amazing. I couldn't help myself. I had to display this figure with the katana in that epic pose. It looks great. You know, I know that this is not a Hot Toys figure and it's a Sideshow exclusive, but I have to tell you, the craftsmanship, the stitching, and the overall materials used here are second to none. I have to say that Sideshow Collectibles is quickly catching up to Hot Toys in terms of their overall quality. The musculature looks amazing on his trousers. This is just fantastic. You know something? I'm actually pretty torn right now. I don't know which I like better, the boots on the premium format statue or the boots on this 1/6 scale figure. Now, the cool thing about it is that there is a little bit of a difference. The only thing is that this figure doesn't have any laces, but it does have some incredible steel toes, and they look awesome. As with all Sideshow figures, it does come with a base and a stand, and your standard crotch grabber. Now, there's not too much detail on this actual base. It actually looks pretty decent. They have some claw marks there, and it looks like it's on some concrete. Now, I am kind of bummed that it doesn't say anywhere on the lip of the base what this figure is, but you know what? He's so iconic, everybody knows who the hell Wolverine is, so it's no big deal. Now, with this Sideshow exclusive, you don't just get the katana, you also get an alternate head, which looks amazing. Take a look at the sculpted teeth, that really aggressive look, the frizzy hair, but most importantly, take a look at the eyes. They got this really cool amber color. It just looks nice. You also get the pull-away mask, which I think you can attach to the back of the head when you put it onto the figure. Overall, this is just a great exclusive extra. Now, remember when I told you they did something a little bit interesting in terms of the arms of this figure and it was a little more statuesque? Well, this is what I'm talking about. You get two separate arm attachments, right and left of course, and these are in fixed positions, so you just attach them where the bicep meets the actual deltoid, which is pretty interesting, and it minimizes those kind of gaps and those, articulation points that we kind of hate to see. But they didn't just stop there. They also gave you another set of attachments which are fully articulate. And you also have the ones that I'm currently displaying it with, which are straight and not articulate at all. So it all depends on how you want to pose it. And as you can see here, these are the arms that actually articulate a little more. So it gives you a lot of variety in terms of what you want to do and how you want to make your figure look. Overall, I think it's interesting that they're doing this, and it might be an interesting thing for them to do in the future. I certainly like the options. Now, the final set of accessories for this figure is 3 additional hands for additional poses, and of course that extra adamantium hand. So overall, this is a pretty complete package. Now, I'm gonna try to remain unbiased here, but I have to say, even though I love Wolverine, this is an amazing figure, so much value here. This is a great exclusive, and I have to say, this is easily a holy grail piece. So guys, if you can get your hands on this, make sure that you get it and you keep it in your collection, because again, it's gonna skyrocket in terms of what they're gonna ask for in the secondary market. So I had to work overtime this weekend to get these reviews up, but I do not mind. So I really gotta thank the folks over at Sideshow Collectibles for sending this wonderful piece over for review. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on the Sideshow Collectibles Sideshow exclusive 1/6 scale figure of Wolverine. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. So, let me get this straight. You held a White House press conference to dispute the numbers the press was reporting at your inauguration. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a long 4 years.